Hello, hello. Aren't you proud of me? I'm here earlier. Let me make sure it's working. Because it wouldn't matter if it's not working. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yep, there it is. There I am. Hi. Okay, let me get stuff set up and we'll be good to go. Woohoo! Uh, at the same moment that one of my shorts drops. Of course. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, my eyes are doing something weird. Oh my gosh, really? Hi, Tarot Goddess. Thanks for being here. Hi, Judy. Thanks for being here. I, yeah, I don't, yeah, that, that happened like overnight. Oh, did you catch the when it was at 333, Judy? I think I caught it too, but I don't know if I got a picture. Oh my gosh. So crazy. I can't believe it. I yeah, I'm like shocked. We talked about the 1212 portal yesterday and then how it was bringing in a whole lot of that like 33 like 3 and 3 energy, so growth, and then look at what happened. It just like exploded. I I don't even know what to say. Hi, Justin. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Just thank you. Thank you and welcome to all of the new subscribers. There's so many. It's crazy. Hi, beginning. Thank you for being here. I'm shocked this morning. I appreciate it. Just thank you. Hey, Tiff Tiff, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here. I'm sending you extra hugs and love. Yes, this we will be just have some good distractions today. We got a lot going on today. Yes. Oh yeah, I'm embracing it, Judy, for sure. It just is unexpected, but it is amazing. It is amazing. Yes. Okay, good, Nunu. I'm glad you could use this as a distraction also. I'm giving you extra love and hugs also. Really, everybody. Hi, Tasha. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. So we talked about yesterday how like yesterday was such a huge portal day and it was bringing in a lot of energy around 3 and growth. Um but I think I have to remind us all, because I have to be reminded of this also, that all of the vibrations are always neutral. And because they're neutral, that means that you can get sometimes these extremes where it's like really good things happening and really bad things happening at the same time. And so the important thing is don't try and balance it. Don't try and balance it as we think of balance, because that's just going to make it harder. That'll send you swishing back and forth between things. Um, what you want to do instead is you want to allow everything to be exactly what it is. If you are experiencing things that are, from your perspective, negative, let them be. And if you're experiencing things that are positive, you let them be also. And let them coexist. So then you can be in a neutral space. Because in that neutral space is where you can find peace. Because there's not as much vibrational movement. So that'll be good for all of us. Yes, thank you. Welcome into all of the new subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. Yes, thank you, Josh, for making sure to say that. I appreciate it. Hi, Chico. Thanks for being here. Oh, are they in competition for posting stuff again? I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support so much. Okay, we have a lot to talk about today. And I don't know what it is, but my eye is watering. So you're probably going to see me keep rubbing my eye. And no, it's not like that fake watering, like I'm really crying. Like I'd tell you if I'm crying. Because I can't hide that. Something else, I don't know. I can't remember if I used a new lotion on my face or something. I don't know. Probably from sweating. And I'm sweating whatever lotion I have on my face. It doesn't matter how cold it is outside. I still am sweating. Okay, so let's start. So let's first talk about the vibration from last week. So, for all of the new subscribers and the new people around, whoa, why is this pin so big? Look at this. Look at this. What is happening here? What is this? Okay, there. What? Oh, that was really weird. It just went away. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. That was a little creepy freaky, but whatever. All right. Anyway, we're going to start with our vibration from last week. I actually have to go look and see. Oh yeah, 8:45. So, every week we do our random number wheel to be able to see what vibration we should be looking out for, because that helps us to be more aware, not just of our own energy, but of the vibrations and energy that are around us. And we need to start really paying attention to that. So last week we had 8:45. And so 8:45 is all about a change that's coming in, that's changing the foundation or the stability of things, and it's creating a new cycle. And in this new cycle, or out of this new cycle, it's like a star is born. That's the 17. Hi, Mai. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you coming in. Thanks. And then it takes us to another 8. So you can think about this week, if you've seen a number close to this, or this number specifically, it could be a time, but also if there's some of these themes that have been coming up this week. And at the end of this, we will spin our wheel and we'll get another one. So I told you all yesterday. Hey, Cousin B, thanks for being here. All right, I gotta catch up on chat. It drives me nuts not being in the chat with you all. It's so hard. It's so hard to not look and see what you all are saying and want to like type and answer you back and say hi to everybody. That's like the favorite part of like my day every day, is coming into any live and being able to say hi to everybody. Okay. Mhm. 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 Good. 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 Yeah. What it? I'm not even gonna talk about that because I don't want to talk about my sweating anymore. But it's insane. It's really weird. Yeah, it doesn't matter how cold it is. I guess it's just the age. We won't talk about that. We won't talk about that for like another week and a half. On my birthday, we'll talk about that. Yes. Oh my goodness. You all are so great. Oh my gosh. You all are so wonderful. Oh, I love you all so much. Okay. Okay. I can't. I just got the lotion out of my eye, so I can't cry and then like get more lotion in my eye. So, all right. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm only 39.99 plus tax. All right. I had to like actually give us separate pages today because I was so worried about not having space or like getting stuff mixed up. So, we are talking today about time. But let me ask you all. So, I do have. Do you want to jump right in and talk about time? That's option one. Or option two, I can show you some of the numbers that made me laugh this morning while I was watching Quality's video on the Mr. Recoup video or song. That's two. So, one, we just jump into time. Two, we get a good little hee hee ha ha from looking at the numbers for Drake and 21 Savage. So let me know. What do you think? Where should we start? We got a lot today. So we could also use the ha ha hee hee time to as a break too, because we have a lot. Oh my gosh, am I missing? I gotta make sure I have all the messages and I'm seeing everybody. Oh, that I knew I was missing somebody. Hi, Tiptoe Joe. Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay. All right. So we are not listening to that song. We're not listening to that song. Not at all. We are participating in the blackout. So let's just jump into time. So, and I'm sure that'll come up in our discussion. So, this week I've been getting a lot of um information and messages around time, and like those vibrations of time have been popping up a lot, and so that's why we're going to talk about time today, because there's something definitely going on with time. And so to get us started, i'm going to I'm not going to do like a full reaction, full review of Nas and DJ Premier, It's Time. But I did want to show you how you can begin to get the vibrational story from the lyrics of songs. Oh yeah. Yeah, we not we we'll talk about it. We'll talk about him too. He'll be part of this. So let's first look at just the title of this album. And so the title of an album is the same as the name that you use. So it is, we saw this when we looked at G and X also, that the name is one very strong vibration that is being put out into the world. But that vibration not only is like what is going out into the world, it's also the vibration that's being used to pull people in. And so the name is very important because the name can really distinguish about who gets pulled in and how they're receiving those vibrations. Oh, hi, V! You made it! Thanks for being here. So, if we first do light, where I know the word light, so we're using our same code where we're doing A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26. And so light, I already know because I've had to do it so many times, actually adds up to 56, which is another one of our numbers or vibrations that add up to 11 too, and then to 2, where this is where we have a ton of energy coming in around this 11. Like, stop trying to balance between things and find a neutral position where you can accept both sides. Oh, nice moonwalk in, BF Goddess. Welcome in. Nice to see you. I like that. That give me a good giggle. But 56 and the word light has the same numerical vibration as the word healing. And when we talked about December, where we had all of that Chiron energy that's coming in this month, where it's all of these wounds are being opened and exposed. So now this vibration of healing is coming through just through this name. So then let's get the vibration of the word years. So let's see. Y is 25. E is 5. And then A is 1. 18 and 19. So years actually adds up to 68, which I think we saw yesterday too. Because I know we definitely saw, I think it was part of that choose peace, choose violence. Maybe? It was something we did yesterday that also had 68. But it adds up to that 14 and then to 5, where this is a mix of energies. So the energies are mixing together. It doesn't mean they're like coming together. Like, because that would be too easy. But it means that they're mixing. So it's the acknowledgement of these vibrations that don't necessarily fit together, like oil and vinegar, but they're there. And so it's acknowledging them. And so it's this mix. I'm so glad you came back. That makes me so happy. I keep looking at the chat. You all just make me happy. So I'm trying to stay out of it, but it's hard. So we have light, the word light, bringing in this healing energy. And then this healing energy is combining with this vibration of 68, where it is mixing those energies together. And the mix, beginning to mix those energies together, is what is helping us to get to a place of change. So then if we add these together, oh, you see my slides? I actually did a little planning this time. Well, if you remember, those of you that were around when I first started coming on live, I planned way too much. And so then I just kind of, oh man, oh man, I almost said it again. I almost said something real embarrassing. I'm not going to say it. I came in without a plan. You can guess what I was going to say. But I started coming in without a plan, and then we started being able to really see all of the different messages that were coming through. But this week was different. There was something about time that really needed to be discussed. And so if we do 56 plus this 68, we get 124. Where 124 is really about the examination, and we talked about this yesterday too. The examination of the foundations. What do you stand on? So just through the vibration of this album name, this vibration is coming through and it's asking, what do you stand on? What is really important to you, and what do you use to make your choices and decisions? Because as you change those foundations to be more stable, now you can get a change in perspective. And with a change in perspective, you can make different choices for yourself and your life. Also, this 124 is the numerical vibration of the phrase, I love you. So when you say that, the full phrase, I love you, from a very pure and neutral place, it is allowing those that receive that vibration to really look at the foundations of what they're standing on, but in a supportive place. So then their perspective can change. So just with this album name, Nas and DJ Premier are bringing through these vibrations of I love you, of change, and of healing. And so then the people that are going to be drawn in, like, of course, there's going to be a ton of people that are drawn in just because it is a Nas album. One of our greats. But they also are going to be pulling in people and listeners that are drawn to these vibrations of I love you, healing, and change. And as we went through the album, like, I watched several reactions because I love watching your reactions. I love watching reactors. And it's because I enjoy the vibrations of the songs themselves. But what I really enjoy is seeing how people react to those vibrations. Because it's very interesting to see how somebody's individual vibration can interact with the vibrations of a song in a different way. And this one, it really did pay a lot of homage to a lot of people. So that's that I love you. It also really did come from a place of more of healing and change. So this was amazing. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the reactions and I enjoyed the album. That's a good question, Judy. Like, it doesn't feel very, like, when I look into it and I look at just the vibrations of it, it doesn't feel final, but that also could be because it's connected to the whole of his legacy, which once that legacy builds up, then the end is actually farther off. It doesn't feel like this is a complete end. It might be an end to um like an album from him, but he's still gonna be around. I don't think he's gonna not be able to be around. But vibrations aren't telling me one way or another. If they were, I'd tell you. Oh, hi, Michelle. Thanks for coming in. Oh, look, there's sweet cookies. Hi. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in. Oh, hi, Josh. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yes. Yes, exactly, Josh. So, just with the name Light Years, um, he is bringing in this vibration of I love you. That's the vibration that he's sending out. Wait, queen. Look, I got on earlier, so you're not asleep. Thanks for being here. Yeah, isn't that cool? So like it's just by the vibration of the name. And but this is also why I don't do a whole lot of these vibrational story reactions, because the vibrational stories are extremely deep. And like very complex. But I did bring some to be able to show you. But I wanted to show you this first. That this is very cool. Just by having the name of the album, it is bringing in these different vibrations. So that's why we have to be very intentional about what name we give ourselves, like our usernames, what names we use, um, but also what we name our projects or and our art. Because as we put that out into the world, we put our creativity out into the world, it could very much impact people based just on the name alone. All right, so I did, because we're talking about time, I did want to look at a little bit of its time. But I think before I jump in there, I'm going to go. I have all these tabs today. Trying to keep it straight. It's been a while since I did planning for my live. But I did want to talk about the word time just in general. So, with any word, um we have the letters that are coming together to give us parts of the bigger vibrational story. So it's almost like each one of the letters is like part, they're not, it's not like a full chapter itself. It's like it's part of the chapter. It's like the pieces of the chapter. And so for time, it's 20 plus 9 plus 13 plus 5. And so this story of time, where just this time chapter is made up of these vibrations. These vibrations are telling us that within this space of time, it encompasses change. It encompasses transformation, where transformation is a change that you cannot come back from. I think it was Nixus that said about being a caterpillar and going to a butterfly, and that's the example I like to use for transformation. Thank you for making sure everybody's clicking on that like button. I appreciate that. And I remembered to put my link up there too. So, time, the pieces of time of this chapter of this story of time. It includes change, it includes transformation, it includes an ending or shifting of energy, and it includes this combination of this energy from the universe, or this God energy or universe energy. It's the one energy that we cannot control, along with this end of dualism. Because when you are outside of time, there is absolutely no dualism there outside of time. And we'll talk about this a little bit more in just a moment. But I wanted to be able to look at first, what are these components of time? What are these little pieces of information we get just by looking at the vibrations of the word that we actually choose to express time? And this is in English, of course. So when we are encountering anything, so everything is made of energy and vibration. And so when we put a name on something, we are trying to translate the vibrations that we're feeling. So just like we were looking at the name of the title, this word time is also trying to convey what it means to experience this vibrational story. And so for this English word time, we are experiencing change, transformation, which is the biggest change that you can make, this ending or shifting of energy, this God, universal, out of our control kind of energy, and also this end of dualism. So outside of time, there's no dualism, but also with time, you can end dualism in your own life. And when these vibrations come together, we can add this up, and we get 47. So when all of these pieces of this chapter come together, the chapter of time is this 47. And then it goes on to its conclusion of this chapter, which is 11 to 2, which again is this ending of dualism. And this will be more relevant in a minute. But I wanted to get this out first so then we can come back to this. Also, within this chapter of time, this is where we come to this place of being able to take action in a vibrational flow. So action, that masculine energy of acting outward, not acting out, but acting outward, externally, versus the flow, which is a very feminine energy of flowing through and allowing. And so this is where we get this information about how 7 is very much this perfect mix of masculine and feminine energy. So that is encompassed within this story of time. And with that perfect mix of the masculine and feminine, so we are taking action in flow, we are able to bring stability to the space and create foundations that are stable. It's from this place of a stable foundation with this perfect mix of masculine and feminine that then we are able to really examine these two extremes, or all the extremes in our life, and then being able to get to a place where we end dualism. Because that's actually the two. The two acknowledges that there's these two extremes, but it's not at one extreme or the other. It's not trying to balance between these two extremes. It actually is taking the parts that we need from both sides and finding a neutral place in the middle to create something new. This is where you're ending dualism. So time is actually a very complex construct. We're going to dig into it today because there's something about this week in hip hop where time is coming into play. Very much so. Okay, so we'll come back to this. Now that we've looked at that, let me go back to It's Time. Okay, I'm going to get some water. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. I think you're mostly just loving on each other, which is great. I love that. That's what this space is for. Everybody gets the love and support and healing that they need. You all are the best. If you didn't hear me before, I'll say it again. I love you. I give you more love. Okay. Oh, I see some sarcastic little jokey jokes about to come out. I love it though. It's great. I know you do. All right, so let's start looking. So let's first just look at the title here. So we just saw how complex the vibration of time is, and really we haven't even really started. We're going to talk a lot more about it. But let's look at the title of this song. So we've already seen that the title of this whole album is really about bringing forth this energy of change and of healing. And the big one really is that phrase, I love you. And so now let's look at It's Time. So we just saw that time is 47. So now let's get the vibration of this first word. So I is 9 and T is 20 and S is 19. So it's is 48. And we have seen this 48 before. So 48 is a time. So if we looked at this, now we have this double vibration of time in here. But also 48 is the life path number of our very favorite Kendrick Lamar. And I'm going to try to only say his name because I don't want my stuff messing up because I'm not tech savvy, so I wouldn't know how to fix it. and then I would just be gone. So we just go put that up there. So this is where we've seen this 48 before. So this energy of 48 is coming in through this first word of it's. Then if we add this up, now we're getting 95. Which again is taking us to this 14 and 5. You know what? I would hope so. I think so. I think so, Judy. I think you're right. I often wonder if it would be possible to have like a whole song that only uses like one vibration. It'd have to be a big one, but use all the words and the phrases that are under that vibration. He would be the only one to be able to do that, I think. No, there might be some others, but I can't. I can tell what all the vibrations are, but that's about it. All right, back to this. So here we have again where we have this mixing of energies. But here, the mixing of energies is coming from a change that is happening. So there's some kind of change that is happening. This song really is invoking this vibration of change to bring some kind of end or shift to this energy. And as some of this energy ends, moves on, or shifts into another form, then we get this mix of energies here at the 14, which then allows for the true change to happen. And so this is a big set of vibrations that are coming through. I actually can, sweet cookies. It's something I looked at this week. But I'll have to show you later why I think what I think. It's gonna come up. You're ahead of me. You're reading my mind. It's gonna come up. So we'll talk about it. So this song, just by its name, is giving off this energy of needing some kind of change to happen so that there can be an ending or a shift. And with this ending or shift, it allows there to be this mix of energies that brings on the change that is very necessary to happen. And because this song is on the album Light Years, so where Light Years is bringing in, that title is bringing in those vibrations of healing and change and I love you, this song is really focusing in on that vibration of change. So if we think about the vibrations that the whole album is bringing in, now each of the songs are contributing to those same vibrations or to the themes. So it's kind of like the whole album is the salad. And it's like, this salad contains these things. And those things that are in there are the different songs that are then contributing to this overall vibration. So now this vibrational story continues. So let's look at, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Let's look at the intro. So most of you, like, we have a lot. Ooh, Hello again to the new subscribers. I gotta say it again because I'm like still in shock with all these new subscribers. But most of you have been here long enough to know that we can go through and we can read each one of these vibrational lines. So each one of these lines is going to give us a vibration and give us parts of the story. But because I don't want to be here for like 6 bajillion hours, we're just going to look at this as a whole. So we'll look at just key pieces. So there's some key points in the story, like, oh, this is a important event. We'll look at those, and then mostly we'll look at it as a whole. So we already know that its time is 45. And let me see. Did I write any of this down yet? Nope, I didn't. I couldn't remember if I'd done these calculations yet. So, if we take, oh, why did I put 45? Why did I put 45? There's a message there too. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? There's a message there too, but we're not gonna go into that. Look at, see, I told you, not tech savvy. Messing things all kinds of up. All right, so we're gonna add black, and then we'll add the AO. It's 1 plus 25 plus 15. So this whole line equals 165. I love you all. And so this one also equals 165. And so these two together, so this repeat, it's like when we talk about having the repeating numbers, it's amplifying this vibration. So there's a reason why it's important to have this amplification of this vibration. And so let's look at 165 real quick, because we do have this amplification. So there's something there that is important for us to know. So 165, when we add this up, it takes us to 12, which then takes us to a 3. So we know that this overall vibration is really bringing around growth. It's wanting growth to happen. But it's neutral. So that means you could grow in any direction. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the path that this vibration is on to get you to growth. You can't just jump here to the end. So the first step in this vibration is this change again. So we've seen change come in at the level of just the album title. We've seen change come in at the level of this song's title. And now this first line of the intro is also having this change energy come in. So there's a lot of information, a lot coming in around this change. We then have already seen this 16, where the change that is happening, it's disrupting the comfort zones. It's questioning and disrupting the comfort zones. Oh, hi, Rumple Girl Skin. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you were able to make it. Yeah, crazy, right, Judy? Like nuts. So, for this story, this first step is happening where we have this change happening. And whatever this change is that's happening is it's causing us to be uncomfortable or to at least question our comfort zones. Like, what are you comfortable with and why? Is what this 6 is bringing in. But when this 16, so when this 6 is with the 1, it's challenging your comfort zones because there's something new that needs to come in. Something new that needs to come in. And this is where we then have that whole story that we talked about yesterday of this tower. So we have this tower. We have a change that needs to happen. And in this tower, our comfort is being disrupted. And we're having to make this choice of, do we stay in the tower and not make this change? Or do we make this change and we leave the tower? Whether we know it or not, this tower is going to fall. So this change happens. Something happens, and then it all of a sudden is opening up this space that's making you question your comfort and your comfort zones, and knowing that something has to change so something new can come in. Now, regardless if you stay in the tower and fall with the tower, or you go out of the tower and you watch the tower fall, there is going to be a change in perspective. The perspective that you have is going to change. Either the perspective is going to change because you are under the rubble of the tower, or your perspective changes because you have watched this tower fall and now you're having to pivot and change to go in a new direction, find a new place of comfort. You're being required to grow. And so here we have change twice. So we have the change here with the 5, but then we also have change here with the change in perspective. So just here in the intro again, we are getting a lot of change. A lot of change happening. And if we add these up, there's our 33 again. So here is where we are starting to get more pieces of this story of change. Oh my gosh, you all cracked me up. All right. So let's get the rest. I'm going to do this really quick because I want to get the rest of these vibrations. So yeah is 39. And then we'll go down here. And this last line is 175. For time traveling, so let me get it here. Traveling actually comes out to this 101. So it's doing something a little bit different on its own. It's opening up this space. So it's drawing in this new energy and it's creating this portal so this God or universal energy can come into the space. And then that's combining with the vibration of time. So this is 148. And again, this we're now seeing this 48 again that was here with the its. So we have that now coming back into play here. So we have two places here where we have time that is 47 interacting with a 48. So these are acting with the 48 here, and here it's bringing out the 48. All right, so let's add this all together. You see, this is why I don't do reactions, because this takes a lot of time. It's very interesting, and maybe, I'm almost scared to say this out loud, but maybe you all can convince me to start a Twitch stream where you can just watch me do all of these vibrations. It almost have to be like where I don't talk very much, but you can watch me do all the calculations. And then we could talk about it maybe on live together. I don't know. Maybe you can convince me. We'll see. So let's add these together so we get this whole thing. So we have 330 plus 39 plus 148 plus 175. So let's get out our handy dandy calculator. Oh my gosh. It helps if you push the right buttons. 692. Oh, okay, Rumble. I think it would be fun to be on Twitch. I think there's got to be somebody that would enjoy watching me just do these calculations. I mean, you all come every week. Yeah, I think I could be convinced. So this whole intro is adding up to this 692. It's really yeah, you could. You could do that. So this 692 is bringing in this energy of ending dualism. Yo, my gosh, you're right, Rumble. I have seen that. People do like just do puzzles on there, don't they? Okay, okay. I think I'm convinced. I just have to do it. And if I can do it without my camera on, so I could just be in my pajamas, that would be even better. So this too is an end of dualism. So just this intro is bringing through these vibrations of ending dualism. This is an end or a shifting. And this is a new kind of comfort zone. So when the 6 is here, where it's like the last step, then it really is like a new comfort zone. When we add these together, we get 17, which is the 17 is, again, it's about like this star energy that's really around this perfect combination of masculine and feminine, which is expressed as action in flow. And with new energy, it allows for there to be new cycles created. Oh my gosh, pajama party vibrations. Oh my gosh, I'm getting more and more convinced. That would be fun. I could wear my bonnet and everything. Okay. Okay. I'm getting convinced. I'm getting convinced. So, okay. So maybe what we'll do, I will find a time because this is all I brought for this today. I just wanted you to be able to see the weaving because I want to figure out how to be able to start showing you all how these vibrations are weaving together to tell this big story. You know how there's some of these cultures and you see like from ancient cultures in museums where they show the tapestries and it's all of the it's like the family history or a bigger story on the tapestry. That's what these vibrations are doing. They're weaving together to make this tapestry of this bigger story. So, what I will do, I will find a time to where I will take the rest of this song on Twitch and I'll break it all down for you. I'll tell you the chapters because it's kind of like the intro is it's more than just an intro vibrationally. It's like it's a whole chapter on its own. And then each one of the verses is a chapter. So where you can see the storytelling within the words, we also have the vibrational story that's in there too. Look at this. Look at this portal energy that is being created here. Just whoosh, coming all in, huh? So now we're doing Twitch, huh? But I think that'll be fun because I do want you all to be able to see kind of what I'm doing behind the scenes because what I'm showing you is just a very little bit of what I see in all of these vibrations. And I want to share that with you. Yes, you're right, DF Goddess. Very much so. It's like all of these vibrations, whether it's coming from the people that are contributing, the words that are actually being said, the music that is being played, it's all weaving together to give us this bigger vibrational frequency that then interacts with our own vibrations. And that's how we get like so many songs can give us a very emotional reaction. Um, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, it can change your thoughts and your moods and everything. And I would love to be able to dive in deeper with that with you all. So I think that would be the Twitch space, it looks like. I also have been playing around with Patreon, wanting to give us a space to do more deep dive teachings and how to apply them. So we'll just put that out there since we're talking about new things. Pajama party vibrations. Woohoo! That is hilarious. I love that. Okay, all right. I gotta catch up with the chat because I'm just catching the funny ones, but I want to make sure I'm not missing anything else, and then we'll head back over to time. Like, actually, here we can go over here. There we go. Oh my gosh. Uh, Not the Red Bull again. It'll be great. I think it'll be fun because I have been trying to figure out how to be able to, because you know that I like write in my journal. So this is like every day there are tons of numbers and words that I put in there. So we're getting so many vibrations, and I just want to share them all with you. So that okay, I guess we're doing it. I'll figure out what time, like when there's a time. If I can do it where I'm not talking as much, then we could do really any time. Well, not any time because I still gotta work. Boo. But we'll figure it out. Oh, okay. Oh man, here are the ideas coming. Bring them, bring them, bring them. I'll soak in all those creative energies. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be great. Okay, so now let's look at time. So before we jump in to time, I said yesterday that we were going to relate all of this to hip hop because it's these themes of. Ooh, thank you, Judy. We like that creative energy. Yes, 132, 132. So 132 is the vibration of the word creativity. It also is the main vibration on all of my merch. So I made a whole big vibrational grid that draws in creative energy and other energy. But you can see that. You can see that on my fourth wall link. It's in that link that's up there at the top of the chat. Ooh, yes. 132 is good, good energy. I like that one. Yeah, we could probably do her birthday, but probably at the end. So just remind me at the end before we go. Cool. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be. I think it'll be cameras off party, especially if we're calling it the pajama vibrations party. Like I love you all, but when I'm in my bonnet and my PJs, I just want to be me by myself. Yeah, just remind me, V, and we can definitely do it at the end. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and start making our list of. Let's just do hip hop happenings. So go ahead and you could start listing things in the chat of any of the happenings that happened this week. Because I really think that most, if not all of these, are going to fit into our conversation of time. Because this is what I've been seeing this whole week. That this vibration of time is weaving through everything very heavy. All right, I'll start. So while you guys are typing stuff in, I have my little list here of some things I thought about. So we did have the Nas and um, DJ Premier with its Light Years. Oh my gosh. We had yes, we had all of the games shenanigans. What else do you have there, Judy? Oh yeah, we had 21 Savage, and we'll just put a box here. Just So it'll be the name that we only use when necessary. Oh yeah, we also did have lots of discussions about um the Diddy documentary. What else? Um what were some of the other oh, we had the POV music video, which was loved it. Except, oh my gosh, I don't know if many people had the same experience that I did. I know we talked about like the animatronics are really unnerving, but like in I grew up in Colorado and I remember going to Showbiz when it first was out, and then that Showbiz turned into Chuck E. Cheese with all the animatronics. But it was actually in Colorado. It was actually right down the street from where there was the uh, movie theater mass pew pews. I don't ever know what to say on on here, but in Colorado there was actually a Chuck E. Cheese massacre. I don't know what to say. You should look it up. But that is the Chuck E. Cheese that was right up the street from my house. Oh my gosh. So I had all kinds of memories coming up with that. Yes, of course. I've been to Casa Bonita. I had several birthdays there or attended a birthday party there. I was even there when one of the divers got hurt. And that was like the talk of Denver for a while. Casa Bonita. Oh my gosh. That place is so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, what else do we have? Oh my gosh. Yes. 50 is having too much fun right now. So we'll just put 50 here. What else did we have? What else did we have happening this week? Let me see. Um oh, you want to see my bonnet? I don't know how I feel about that. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm gonna let you continue that conversation on your own. What else did we have this week? Um. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We had top five, and again, name that will not be spoken unless necessary. Um. Yep, we had that. Um. What else? Oh, we also had the um GNX tour ended, so we got to make sure to have that discussion. Ends question mark. Anything else? Oh, I also wanted to include on here because he's not as well known, but Nixus does reviews, and I actually really like his work. But we had the Chris Patrick album come out also. All right, what else? Yeah, 50 is having way too much fun. Oh, I don't know if I heard about that, Rumple. Anybody else hear about that? Oh, yeah. Wait, no. I think there was something. Man, like the last 2 weeks in hip hop, we've had a lot happening. We've had so much happening. But we can add to this list. So I'm gonna put co-host. I think you're right, Rumple. There was something um for Mace and Cameron. I cannot spell. Good thing my handwriting's so messy that you can't tell if I spelled it right or not. Okay, we can continue to add to this list. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. So with at. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Got that. Oh, we're gonna look at it. We'll look at it, DF Goddess. Don't go nowhere. When we're done talking about time, we'll break it all down for you. I'll show you what it means and how to use it. Okay, so let's start with this list. Because what we're going to do is, as we're talking about time and like what time is and how it functions, we will be able to come back to this list and be able to relate these things in. Okay, everybody ready? Everybody got their popcorn and their beverage of choice and all that good stuff? Okay, so here we go with our discussion of time. So, in the beginning, just kidding. We won't go that far. I'll try not to. So, when we think about, like we talked about yesterday and we talked about last week, how each person has, so let me draw one of my little stick people because I don't like seeing a blank screen here. So each person has like a whole set of vibrations. So let me see. Let's put this guy, put our guy in this. Oh, don't chop off his head. Okay, that was a close one. Everybody has like this whole set of vibrations that make up who you are and that have these vibrations going out into the world and interacting in the world. And so when we think about that, it's all of these different layers. So we have like, you have your life path number from the date of when you were born. You have your name that you were given when you were born. You have your astrology. Oh, my poor guy is gonna go away. I'll draw him again. Um, you have like the energy and vibrations just within your DNA that you come into the world with. Oh, you did? Oh my gosh, showbiz is crazy. I had forgotten all about that, and then that POV just brought all the trauma back. So you have all of these vibrations that are coming together and they're making the weaving of who you are. So here's our guy again. Now this is what, when we're having these discussions of like nature and nurture, these would be the vibrations that we would consider nature. They just come along with you. These are the vibrations that you're naturally putting out. So this is like your own personal set of vibrational pheromones. That's crazy. Vibrational pheromones? I should write a book about it. But these are all of these vibrations that you're putting out into the world, but then are also attracting energies and vibrations in. And because everything is vibration, and everything is energy. These vibrations that are coming in, they can be other people, but they could also be experiences. They could be places. They could be all of these different things. I know. We're supposed to be talking about time. We're getting there. We'll get there. But then each person also has a set of um, experiences through their life. Your first set of experiences are starting from the moment you are born at 0 until you are 27 years old, and these are considered your youth experiences. So, as you are traveling around this timeline, see, there's time, you are gathering experiences that are adding to. So now you have like oh my gosh, I used all the colors. Now you have like an additional set of vibrations that are adding to your vibration from these youth experiences. And the youth experiences are really about building your identity. So you're traveling on this timeline and having these experiences that are then adding to the vibrations that you come into the world with. Once you pass this mark of 27, from the time you're 27 all the way to 54, that's funny that this came out as like the smallest square when this square is like the most tumultuous. I think it is. Maybe it's just because I'm in it. But this is your power square. And so again, you are traveling through this timeline, collecting these vibrations through experience. And this power square is adding again to your vibrational tapestry. It's adding to your vibrational story. It's adding to the vibrations that you put out into the world. So if you think about how a child behaves versus a teenager behaves, the changes in their personality and their behaviors and their thoughts and their choices are mostly coming from those experiences, because you're not necessarily changing that core vibration. Like, yes, we can change our name, but that's really one of the only things that's in that triangle that you could actually change. So a lot of times when we see how our thoughts and our feelings and our behaviors are changing, it has to do with how these experience vibrations are adding to our personal vibrations. So our movement on this timeline. And this power square is where our identity is strengthened. So it's strengthening the identity with testing. This is where your identity is tested. Where here in the youth is where you're doing all of your like experimentation of like, who am I? What do I believe? What are my foundations? What do I want to stand on? And you already have some of those, because you come into the world with some of those. But then traveling along this timeline, you're getting more of those vibrations. And then when you're traveling across this timeline of power, now those different points of your identity, the foundation of who you are, is being tested. And it's allowing that identity to be strengthened. Now, we've talked about before, but I think it's important to say again that if you are traveling on these timelines and you are not taking in these vibrations, so it's like there's a difference between like I don't know why this is the example that came up. There's a difference between like going to the gym and building your muscles or just putting on one of those funny t-shirts that have the muscles on it. Why? I don't know why that's the example, but that's the example that has come to mind. It's because the universe got jokes. But if you're just putting on these experiences and not actually using them to build up your identity and build up the vibrational being that you are, now you're just getting a lot of layers on the outside, but you're not really encompassing them. So if you get through youth and you get through power and you're not actually using these lessons to be able to build up your vibrational core, now all you do is you just have two shirts on. Like even crazier, it's like you're wearing two hoodies. Isn't that crazy? Okay. All right. We continue. So then at 54 is when we now move into this square here. And from 54 all the way here to 81, you are in this wisdom square. And this wisdom square is now where you are, again, you're traveling along this timeline. You're picking up vibration. You're having these different lessons. You're learning different things that are adding to your vibration. This all is what we would call like the nurture. Make it clearer. So this is the nurture. It's the building up of vibration through lessons and experience. And so then in the wisdom square, you also are collecting these vibrations. Woohoo! Look at it. And in the wisdom square, this is really about sharing your identity by building legacy. So it's like sharing your identity. It's sharing the lessons that you've learned, the experiences that you've had, so that you are in a place of wisdom and you're adding to these vibrations of the world around you by sharing your experiences. Now, if all you've done is put on these muscle shirts instead of building yourself up, really, what do you have to share? You almost have to take this whole shirt off and be like, here you go. But now you don't have any left for yourself. So this is important to keep in mind as we talk about time. So when we're talking about time, we're really talking about the movement of around these different squares as we are having experiences and lessons in our life. Not necessarily these core vibrations. Those core vibrations are there. They contribute. You can use them. But we're really talking about these motions here. And there are very key points in time that are here. We'll mark just a couple of them. So one very important key point in time is here between the ages of 27 to about 31. And this is when you have your Saturn return. Saturn is the vibration of your structures. How are your structures in place? So if we're thinking about our vibrational foundations, this is when we are actually having to choose between the foundations that we want to have for our identity, for ourself. So it's around this 27 to 31 where you really are starting to look at not only how do I identify, but what are the foundations of that identity? This is where you have like, my life mantra is this, and you're sticking to it. So before this time, you can have that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stick as you move along this timeline. Thanks for being here, Tasha. Yeah, I hope we see you soon. Yes, thank you, Chico. Press the like button. Thank you very much. So, what we're talking about with time is this movement around. And we've looked at this for hip hop as well. And so, hip hop is right over here. It's right around, about to end its power phrase. Let me get a different color here. So hip hop is right here right now at 52. Is 52 or 53? I think it might have just turned 53, but I don't know. But 54 will happen when in 2027. So that's when hip hop will be moving out of the power phrase into the wisdom phase. And we can see, because it's documented, how hip hop has been moving along this timeline and gathering these vibrational experiences to build its identity. The other important event that happens here in this power square is when we have the Chiron return. And hip hop is actually experiencing this right now, because Chiron return usually happens at its peak around 50, but it usually lasts until about 53. And what this Chiron return is the opening up of the wounds so that they can be healed. So it's a key time to be able to look back at all of these experiences from youth and power. Find what wounds have you carried through and what wounds have been inflicted on you during this time, and what wounds have you inflicted on others. And this is a time of healing. So we just saw with that Light Years album that hip hop is in need of this healing energy right now, because it's a prime time for these wounds to be healed because they are open. Okay, so that's first part. The next part is to think about what time is. So time is actually given to us here in this earth space so that we are able to have these experiences, to add to our vibrations and the foundations of our vibration through lessons, through experience. So what time does is it spreads out the vibration. So if the vibration were just a point, so let's say the vibration is just a point here. What time does is it takes it from being just a point to actually spreading it out, where now time is between 2 points. And so then that gives us the opportunity to be able to see these experiences and these events in a way that allows us to learn from them. Because if in this one point there were actually 3 different ways that you could use this vibration to learn and to build your foundation of your vibrations up, it'd be very difficult to be able to experience those all three at the same time and actually get the most out of them, where it actually is going to help raise your vibration. And so instead, what time does is it helps to spread these out. So now, these 3 points, where this could be a key moment in your youth phase, this could be a key moment in your power phase, and this could be a key moment in your wisdom phase. And so now you have the ability to really fully experience this vibration so that you are able to grow. You're able to really fully tap into those lessons and be able to add to your vibrational foundation. So, time, when it's outside of the earthly plane, so when we start getting into like our solar system and in the galaxy, time is still there, but it acts very differently and not in the same way. And then when you get far enough out in the universe, which we know is infinite, then at a certain point, time does not exist at all. And so everything is just this folded up vibration. Done and done. So time is here where we are on Earth so that we are able to really have these experiences, to learn from and to grow from and to build up our foundations of our vibrations. And I'll wait for a second. Does this make sense? Does anybody have questions before I go on? I know this is like this can get pretty deep and a little bit sticky. But it's good stuff. You all are just having such a good time in the back of the class, passing notes and giggling. I don't care. I actually like it. I'm loving that you just even getting to take this energy in and enjoy it. Yeah, you guys are so funny. You all are so funny. I'm gonna leave you to your conversation. You have a good old time. You're not interrupting class at all. You enjoy yourself. I've told you this story before. I have gotten in trouble when I actually was a teacher in class. Not anymore, but when I was a teacher in class, I, you know what? It was like however you best learn. And some of us need to just be able to have a good time for that energy to be able to flow through us. And that's fine. You did not interrupt. You all are just fine. Have a good old time. I'm just glad you're here. You are adding to the high vibrational moments and you are receiving everything that you need in this moment. So it is all good. All right. So here we go. So to recap, we have started our discussion of time. And yes, we'll get to adding the hip hop in here. It's coming. It's coming. So we've looked at how we have this core set of vibrations that we come into the world with. And then we've looked at how we move through the timeline and gather all of these vibrations through experience and through these lessons learned. That's what time is allowing us to actually see. It's allowing us the the time. It's so hard because you use time and time and time and time. But it's spreading out these moments where you can have these experiences and learn these lessons to be able to raise your vibration, to add to your vibrational foundation. So then the next thing we need to talk about is that there's actually two kinds of time. There's, I can use this. There's horizontal time. So there's horizontal time. Horizontal. This is why I deal with numbers and not words. Horizontal time is what we're used to. So if we'll put our little guy here. If our little guy is here, then now this is present time. Get a different color. Let me get a different color. I got all these colors. Don't need to do one. Okay, so wherever this person is, this is present time. But then behind this person, here's what we call the past. And what's in front of this person is what we call the future. And so we're moving along this horizontal timeline. So we're moving across this way. But there also is this other time which is vertical time. And I always don't know what to call it. But for this discussion, this center place of where this person is, it's like its current level of healing. So above in vertical time is its most healed self. So this could just be the self. And then down here is the wounded self. So one thing to make sure to keep in mind and to recognize is that even though we are in a present moment as ourself in that moment, we still have all of those vibrations from our past. We actually have the vibrations of the future are already attached to us. We just have to choose how to get there. But we also have the vibrations of our wounded self, and we have the vibrations of our healed self that are already attached to us. So wounded self is similar to past. Healed self can be looked at as similar to the future. And we have this vertical time because we are meant to be in this earthly space, moving along the timeline and becoming more healed. It's that healed is what is adding the vibrations on to your core vibration. And it's moving you up this vertical line. But just because you're moving up that vertical line, it doesn't mean that that wounded self doesn't still exist. It's now, instead of open wounds or festering wounds, it's just scars. But it's still there. It's still part of you. Just like your past is still part of you. Whether you want to ignore it and hide those skeletons in the closet or not, it's still part of you. It's still adding to your vibrations. And so as we are moving along all of this timeline through these experiences, we are having the experiences and then the lessons that we are learning is what is either adding to the wounded self or it is adding to our healed self. But once we get into this power square, now it is really time for us to put the energy towards the healing. So hip hop is here. Hip hop is in this power phase. This is where you primarily are doing a lot of your healing. It's getting from that wounded self into that healed self. So then when you get to the wisdom phase, when you get to that wisdom square, you want to be able to have all of the past stuff. So let's see. So once you're in wisdom, you want to have all of these past experiences to be able to contribute to others. And you want to have really from like wherever you're healed, you want to have that and all of these experiences of your wounded self and your healed self to contribute to wisdom. Okay, I know that was a lot. So now we finally have gotten to this quadrant. And that's what we're going to use to look through these events of hip hop. Because hip hop is right now experiencing that Chiron return where it's in a position of healing. And so as we are thinking about and seeing that hip hop is shifting, its identity is changing in ways, it really is bringing up these wounds. So we see that with all of the arguments and the pointing out and the what is coming to light out of the dark is the exposure of the wounds so that they are primed for healing. And we need to bring healing into the space. So like we saw with Nas and DJ Premier's album named Light Years, where that word light is bringing in this healing energy into that space. So that healing energy coming into that hip hop space is now allowing healing to happen. So let's look at these 4 quadrants and then we'll try and get our list into them as we discuss them. So this part I did write down because I wanted to make sure I got it. All right. So we have vertical time and we have our horizontal time. And so each event, each experience and event, it can actually be in more than one of these at a time. So when we start looking at our list, don't think that you have to like put it one place. It's primarily going to be in one place the most, but we'll actually be able to put it multiple places. So if you look at your own life, you could actually put events in your life in these quadrants also. So up in this quadrant is healing because we're at this higher end of vertical time and it's into the future. So here is where the discussion is, or the vibrations are on healing and the future. It doesn't necessarily mean we're in the future. It could though. And then over here is where we have healing and the past. And this can be healing you've done in the past, but it also could be actually healing the wounds of the past. So if the past is coming up as open wounds, and now the healing that can be applied there. Then we also have these past wounds. And again, this could be wounds that have happened in the past, but it also could be wounds that have happened because of the past. And we've seen some of this also where um if we are carrying burdens of the past that we will not heal or we don't let go, now those can become wounds because we are causing ourselves turmoil from not healing those wounds. So this could be a number of different things. And we have seen that in hip hop this week and beyond. But then we also have future wounds. And this also is, again, where you might not choose, because we each get to have free will and choose the future that we want and the reality that we create. But what are the wounds that you are carrying into the future? Or what future wounds could be created because you are not healing the wounds of the past? So these are our 4 quadrants. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. Let me try. I'm going to try and get all of this. Oh, I did it. Look at me. And we're going to move this over. Keep going. Keep going. Yes. All right. We want to move this by our list. I'm going to try and make it smaller. Oh my gosh, I hope it made it smaller. There we go. Okay. So now we have our list and we have our little categories that we can put it in. All right. So I'm going to get a drink of water. Let me know if there's any other events that we should add on here. And we'll move on from there. What you all doing in the chat? Y'all crack me up. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, thinking about where hip hop is on its journey. So, hip hop, where it is right now, oops, is in this power square, but it's getting ready to end its time in the power square, and it's going to be moving into wisdom, where now in that wisdom square is where it's supposed to be able to share its identity. It's supposed to be able to share its experiences and all of the vibrations that it's built up through its journey through this timeline. But before it can do that, it needs to heal as many of these wounds as possible. And by healing those wounds, now it is strengthening that identity. It's strengthening who hip hop is and what it has to contribute to the world. And so we have seen this happening very much with our little list here. So let's just go through this list. See what we can find. So we already saw that light years, it actually just in its name alone is very much contributing I think we'll make like each one of these maybe a different color, and then we can say which one. Oh, we already got green there. So let's use purple. So then it's easier to be able to say which quadrant it's in. There we go. All right, so we've already seen that light years, just in the vibration that it's contributing to the world, is in this healing space. So it's up here. And honestly, I think it's probably healing the past and it's healing the future, because it is bringing up on this album, it is bringing up a lot of the conversations of what happened in the past, but then it's also trying to bring healing into the space so that it can heal what happens in the future. So I think this one is both. But you could let me know if you think differently. And feel free in the chat to let me know any of these on this list and which quadrant you think it's in. And we can discuss. I'm just going to go down the phrase. You all distracted each other. Hey, don't think just because I'm up here teaching that I don't have eyes everywhere. I know what's happening. That's why I just let you do what you do. Because I know. All right, so for the game, oh, and all of his antics, I really think the game is probably very much resonating. Probably, it's definitely in the wounded space where, because that's why you would lie, and his lies are like so big that the only reason you would do that is if you're trying to hide a wound, but that wound is so big and festering, we're like, ew, we smell your wound. It's very obvious. So he's definitely in this wounded space. And it may be both. I think it's actually probably more wounds of the past, because even in like all of his lies and stuff, he keeps bringing, it's like he's trying to change the past. He's trying to change the past to be able to change the future. But it's coming from a very wounded place. So, game gets put down here in past wounds. So, in order for, if we look at like that theme of past wounds, now it would be like, okay, we recognize we have these past wounds, but we do need to take the step of like, how do we move from the past wounds to like healing the past? So we should always be moving. Doesn't necessarily mean the game will, but hip hop as a whole should be using this as an example to heal. And then we have our friends 21 Savage and him who shall not be named. And I think they probably are right there with the game too, and that they're definitely in that wounded space, because they are feeling the need. So when you feel the need to be able to lie or to exaggerate, it really usually is coming from a wounded place. So I think these guys are right here too. I may keep checking the chat. You let me know if there's any that you want to mark off on here. Let me know which category you think it is. Which one do you think is healing future, V? Which one? I told you I see everything. So probably past wounds too. They might also be running into some of these future wounds too, like dragging that past into the future. I'm gonna add this on here too. Yeah, I agree, Judy. And I think that's the thing we have to recognize. We get to like chit chat about them and have fun and giggle at their expense, and know that they could be far gone. Um, but what can we learn from it? As I always say, you're going to learn from either your mentors or your mistakes. So, mentors are anybody that you can use their experience to learn the lesson without having to go through it yourself, whether you're just observing them or they're teaching it to you. So, we're just going to let them be our mentors for how not to be this way. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're exactly right, V. That the game has some very deep past wounds and is very stuck there. But then if we recognize that we have some wounds also that are stuck in the past and that we're like carrying on our back, so it's like when we talk about being like the bag lady or bringing baggage into a relationship, it's those past wounds. And so it's our responsibility to know how to move it from that past wounds into healing the past. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. You are a very good student, Rumpel. What are your questions? I know we got all the students. We have a very big classroom so that everybody can be who they want to be and need to be in any moment in time. You think 21 Savage is healing past? Is 21 Savage healing the past? Or is he just displaying past wounds? Tell me more, V. Tell me more. Oh, okay. So, like, you think it's like healing the past because he's kind of like seeing both sides. Hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective because the way that you would go through any of your healing would be first with awareness and then with intentionality. But is he may be aware, but to truly heal, you'd have to do it with intention. So that's an interesting, yeah, that's an interesting discussion of like if it's somebody that's playing both sides, where are they? So I'm gonna make sure to add that color onto 21 Savage, just 21 Savage. We'll put 21 Savage here with potentially healing the past also. So because if he's playing both sides in a way that he's in awareness of the wounds and of the necessary healing, and what he's doing and saying is intentional, it's intentionally trying to push healing or to get the wounds to heal, yeah, then he could definitely be displaying some of that healing past. Well, and it's interesting too, because I do have, like, when I looked at, so I looked at 21 Savage's name and, um, and birth date. So 21 Savage's name is actually 76, and his birth date gives him a life path number of 53. And so let's look here. So I'm trying to see if some of his core vibrations would give us any more hints if he really knows what's going on or not. So 21 Savage's name. So the name vibration is 76. And then his life path number is 53. And then if we add these together, 76 plus 53, we get 129. So, so he has like the core vibrations that he could potentially be bringing an end to something that gets a change in perspective, is really what his vibration is doing. I think it just is if he's intentionally moving it in the right direction. So just like with growth, because he has that growth here with his life path number, but that growth could be in any direction. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Let me get caught up in the chat, see what else you guys think. Of course. Yeah, that's how it happens, sweet cookies. Oh, we're gonna get there. Um, we have Gia next tour on our list, so we'll talk about it when we get there. Yes, I would agree, V, that for the game in particular, it's almost like he's been carrying the wounds of the past, so many wounds of the past, because it doesn't even feel like they're all just his. It's like he's carrying his own wounds of the past, but other people's wounds of the past. Um, and it's like he's overburdened now. And so he has to let some of them go. He has to let some of them fly in order to get some relief. Yeah, so that's interesting. Yep, I think you're right. Oh, absolutely, Rumple. So it's interesting for me. So I'm addressing where Rumple was saying about noticing how a lot of stuff that happens in hip hop ties to people's lives. Um, yes, absolutely. And I think that's why focusing on hip hop is such a good example, because we can use it as an example to like take us out of the emotional state where it's really hard to be able to it's hard to see our own wounds and heal our own wounds when we're still very emotionally tied to them. But if we see an example like hip hop, now we can apply it to our lives. I love that. I love that you caught that, because it is. It's and especially right now, where hip hop very much, and actually always, like even if you look back at hip hop's history, it's always been like the voice of the people, and been an outward expression of what is happening in people's lives. I think that's why so many people connect with hip hop. Even because even if you don't necessarily like all of hip hop, or like all the genres, or all of the parts and pieces of hip hop, there's our connection points, because it does resonate so much with our everyday lives. It is a living The hip hop culture is alive and it's moving on this timeline just as we are. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. Mhm. Yeah, you all are good. Good, good, good. Yes, you're right, Chico. So that future is we the future already exists in our present moment and in our past. But then based on our responses and choices, based on like the experiences that we have on that timeline, it shapes the future. So it's kind of like you have a lump of clay that's already there, but your choices shape it to be what it is. But it's always there. You always have it. Yeah. Mhm. So I'm going to keep going Nunu. Yeah, you're right. Tell me more also cuz I like the way where you're going with this. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes, I love that sweet cookies. You're getting ready for that Super Bowl. All right, all right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Do you think V, and maybe you say it later on, but yeah, it's hard to know. Like that's why we have this debate of like nature versus nurture, where there's always this debate of like, are you who you are based on just who you are as you come into the world, on the vibrations of at your core of who you are, and or are you who you are and do you do what you do based on that nurture, like moving across that timeline. And I think it's both. But there's another question of like, at any time, could you actually change it? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because we do look at some people and it's like, wow, they just have gone so far into that wounded space that I don't know if there's recovery. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing to think about. If any of these people that we're listing here would ever be able to move out of one of these squares to another. And really, we all have parts and pieces in all of these squares. We all, because all of our experiences are going to be different, especially because we're going into those experiences with a different set of core vibrations. So as we're moving through the timeline, we're just going to have stuff that we were born with that is already healed and it's not going to impact our future because it's already like it was never a wound. And for somebody else it could be a wound. Yeah. 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 That's true. That's true, new beginnings, that like you haven't had if you haven't had that perspective, um that you're not going to get that perspective through your experiences. But like we were talking about, I think it was in a video I did on truth, where we have to have all of those perspectives to have the full truth. And so it's really up to us to be vulnerable enough to allow people to see our perspective fully so that we all can get to a place of full truth. Because, like, when we're moving into that wisdom phase, like, there wouldn't be a reason for us to be sharing our perspective and our experiences as wisdom if everybody had the same ones. So I think it's definitely yes and. Yeah, that people outside of a culture will not, and or even outside of who you are or your perspective, they may never fully understand, but they could try because those perspectives are important. Yeah, yeah, that's good to think about. Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, Red Panda. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. That's a good question, Judy. So, Judy's question, I finally have gotten to the end of the chat. Got caught up. Um, so the question of how difficult is it to let go of the earlier squares? So, the hardest to let go of, and it's not even really let go, it's like heal because it's always there, it's already part of you, is gonna be from um that youth phase. That's why people are always talking about how childhood trauma has impacted them as an adult. And so um that's always going to be the hardest because you've gone the most time carrying those wounds and having those wounds. But really it's about um moving into a place of awareness, so understanding where those wounds have come from, how you've gotten them, and then you can intentionally make moves to be able to go into more of a healing space, because I don't think that there's any wounds that can't be healed. But you like, you think about it, um like if you got a really big bruise as a child on your leg, that bruise may just heal up in a couple of weeks. Versus if when you were a kid, you fell off your bike and like broke your leg in 5 places and now have metal pins in your leg. The wound heals, but it doesn't heal in the same way, and it may not ever like go back to the way it was. Hopefully that makes sense. Look at Josh coming in with the wisdom. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're trying to find that neutral center place where you are accepting of the past and the future, the healing and the wounds. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, exactly, Judy. Yeah. So it's getting to a place where you are accepting that there's other perspectives that exist outside of your perspective. And that if you want anybody to be able to fully see your perspective, you have to be you have to be the vulnerable one to share it. That's the hard part. So it's kind of like at the same time that we are trying to heal our wounds from our perspective, we're also having to open up and share our wounds in a way that can be more healing to everybody. And that's why it's like there's so many of these wounds that you just need like a therapist, or you need group therapy, or you need outside people to really fully support you, because it's also very difficult for us to step outside of our perspective. That is not easy to do at all. Very difficult to do. So it's very difficult to be able to step outside of your perspective and accept other perspectives as part of the truth, but also be vulnerable enough to allow others to see your perspective fully, so that it can be included in their perspective of the truth as well. Good, good discussions. Good, good. Yeah. Well, and it's thinking about, so it's thinking about like where a lot of these wounds have come from, and the wounds that you stand um in that it's hard to get out of your perspective, to get out of a wounded place where you can begin to heal, but then also share your perspective with others. And it's very difficult to do that. And that's where it can be very difficult to have these kinds of discussions. And this is what's happening even within hip hop. Even within the hip hop culture, we are having these discussions of, if you haven't had the lived experiences, are you still vibrationally contributing to the healing of hip hop? If you're contributing to the wounds, then you can see yourself out. But if you're contributing to the healing, what does that actually mean in that space? Because if the goal is to have hip hop heal, the way that you get to healing is first the exposure of the wounds. You have to even know that the wound is there before you can begin to heal it. And then you can begin to bring in healing energy from other spaces to have that happen. But you also have to heal yourself first. So you have to work on healing your wounds so you can move into a place of wisdom. So then you can share that experience in helping others to heal as well. I understand your perspective, um, Nunu. I understand that perspective. But at the same time, other perspectives outside of our own, so those perspectives that come from a place of not had lived those experiences, they still contribute to the truth. We still need to have all of those perspectives in order to have the full truth of things. So even if it's people that are outside of the culture space, their perspective on the culture still impacts the culture. Okay. Okay. I'll talk to you later, Nunu. Yes. Okay, Chico. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, it becomes part of you. Yes. Like, yeah, like it's really figuring out how to include those perspectives in a way that is allowing other perspectives to exist. Because if the truth is really coming from a place where all perspectives are considered and included, that is not an easy space to be in. Not at all. Not at all. Because even if there's um, half of those perspectives that you do not agree with, they still need to be included in order for us to see the whole truth and to experience the whole truth. Hmm. Okay, V. Tell me more. Tell me more about looking at things as a compass. Yes, Chico, you're right. Yeah, it goes extremely deep. And that's why I needed to give you all of this first part before we actually got to these conversations. Because we always come back to this debate of what are the vibrations that are contributing to the experience just because of the core of who you are versus those vibrations and those parts of you that are coming from your motion and movement on this timeline and the experiences that you've had. And it's very difficult to step out of your own path and your own perspective. That's why we focus on our own healing before we can branch out. So, even thinking about this, we're on this journey through youth and through power individually. We do not actually have really we have interactions with people, they're contributing to these experiences, but we really are not adding to other people's healing spaces until you're in the wisdom phase. So it really is making sure that you are learning the lessons through your experiences for yourself so then you can impart that wisdom on others. Yeah. 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 But it's very difficult to know what part is just who they are and what part comes from their experiences because really they're the only ones that would know that. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Judy. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Judy. You have to be able to spend the time with yourself and your own past and your own wounds to be able to begin to get to a place of healing. Yeah. Yeah. Now remember, like when we're talking about low vibrational or high vibrational, that every single vibration includes both. It all includes it all. So the example that I always tend to use, let me go up here, is thinking about this vibration of 30. So in this vibration of 30, we both have the English word fear and we have the English word peace and we have the English word ease. All of these vibrate the same. So when we're talking about the vibrations primarily are neutral. They encompass everything that we would consider positive or negative about that vibration. And it is our perspective that is really dictating how we're interacting with that vibration. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Rumple. Yeah. Because I think I had another video on that where it was about judgment and how with judgment is trying to force somebody else to see your perspective. That's what judgment is. It's trying to force your perspective on someone else's perspective. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Healing childhood trauma is extremely hard to do. Yeah. Yeah. It's And so what you have to think about is what's happening is it's not necessarily that we are um, becoming more or less um, vibrational. It's that we are changing our perspective. So if when you were born, you had a perspective where this vibration was able to be neutral, where when you experience this, because you didn't know anything yet, so you experienced, you didn't know what fear was or what peace was or what ease was. But then as you have experiences, now what it's doing is it's shifting your perspective. And so you could have one experience that now is shifting your perspective over here where you're more in tune with fear. And so you would consider that vibration to be fear. Or you could have a set of experiences that then changes your perspective here. And now you're experiencing this vibration as peace. And so it really is about a perspective shift. And when we're thinking about hip hop, because it is a culture, it is a little bit different in that it was born into a particular perspective. And I guess that's really for all of us as well, because you're carrying in your DNA those vibrations of your ancestors and of your parents. And those can shift your perspective as well. So, woo wee. I told you. I told you this was going to be a heavy, deep conversation. So, thank you for being here with me for it. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, DF Goddess. Like hip hop has, because it was born out of a perspective of people that had a certain set of experiences, now it was becoming like the voice or like the external expression, which is art, which is our creativity. It became the external expression of those perspectives and that experience. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly, Judy. We are here to come from a neutral healing space to make sure that each of these perspectives are honored and valued so that we can get closer to the truth. And that's not always easy to do. It's actually never easy to do. And I knew I was battling with myself all week because I kept getting these messages that we needed to talk about time. I knew it was going to be extremely deep and it was going to be a harder conversation. But it was definitely time to have the discussion of time and necessary in the moment of healing for hip hop. Because hip hop is in the process of healing very, very quickly. It's having a whole lot of its wounds exposed, and it's this window of healing that needs to happen before it moves into that wisdom is shrinking because of time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that, DF Goddess. Yes, I love listening to frequencies also. It does really help your body. And it can help it helps to have that energy and vibrations moving, because if it's moving already, then it's easier to get things to move in and out. Yes. Yes, Rumpel, exactly. Yes. Uh-huh. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, welcome back, Red Panda. Thanks for coming back, Lazavius. Okay, so let's get back to this list, but let's go. I'm gonna go down to the GNX tour because we've gotten to witness like these beautiful happenings with the GNX tour. The GNX tour is, I think, our really good example of healing. Um, but I think it's more healing in the future. You could tell me what you think. It's like it's like putting the vibrations out into the space so that what we're walking into in the future is healing. So we're walking into like a healing space or a healed space as we move into that timeline into the future. And what's so interesting is that this GNX tour, do you know how many stops it had? How many shows the GNX tour had? And this gets to Sweet Cookie's question. Hopefully, she's still here. But the GNX tour actually had 47 shows. Actually, 46, but it had 47 planned shows on its tour. And 47 is that numerical vibration of the word time. So the GNX tour was very whether it was intentional or specific, um, like it was planned this way, this was planned definitely by the universe or God or a higher power because it's resonating with time. It's resonating with exactly what we needed in order to bring healing into the space. So that was very cool to see. And because of that, what I honestly think is I think that there's a small possibility of it being extended. I think there's more of a possibility that it's actually done. Um, because what it's done what it was meant to do. But I think that's also why right after this GNX tour ended, Kendrick and Schoolboy Q and Dochi went straight into the Spilt Milk festivals. So while I don't necessarily think the GNX tour will be extended, I know that its vibrations that it's putting into the space will be extended. It already has been because it's already being now put into these festivals and into these other events. Because even like what Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free are doing with the Project 3, it is taking that same vibration of healing and moving it into that future space as the GNX tour did. So I think we'll still see a lot. I think we'll still get some music. We'll still get shows. We'll still get a ton of projects. But I don't know that the GNX tour will be extended. And even if it is, because there's a small possibility that it could be, um, it's going to be on a different vibrational journey. So that's why I needed to get through so much of that to be able to give you an answer, sweet cookies. Do you have any more questions? All right, I'm going to catch up in chat. You let me know if there's any more questions or are there anything else on this list that you want to jump to? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Chico, you're right that we all have this positive and negative vibrations. And you are choosing how to be able to use that. But it's also just in the recognition that it even exists in all of us. Because really, we're not supposed to be at one extreme or the other. We're not supposed to be all negative and not giving out any positivity. But also, if we go too far to the positive side, then it's almost denying that the negative has happened or that the negative is there. And that's what we kind of see in some of this cultish I don't know how else to say it. This cultish behavior where it's believing in and only seeing the positive so much that you're not even in awareness that the negative exists in you or in others. So both extremes can be dangerous. So it's finding that neutral where you can accept both. And from that neutral position is where you make your choices of how you interact with energy around you and also how you put energy out into the world. Yep, that's true, Judy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Rumple. Yep. Okay, you all are having a really good conversation and you're on point. So, we have to remember also, so this is something else, that thinking about how these experiences are adding to our vibration, it also creates like it can create a film or a filter. So any energy that's going out or coming back in is having to come through that experience vibration. And so we have to be aware of that. That there's potential that the energy that we're putting out, we could be thinking that we are putting out positive energy, but as it filters through all of those experiences, it could come out as and be perceived by somebody else as more negative. So it's really complicated. It's really complicated. Yeah. And so we do, while we do have um like our free will to make decisions and choices, we also have to be aware of how our own past and our own wounds and our own experiences could um disrupt what we're putting out into the world and how other people are perceiving it. That not all the time what we do is going to be perceived and really never is it going to be perceived in the same way as somebody outside of yourself. Yeah, that's a really, really good discussion. Okay, any of these others that we want to add on here? We could put all of these on here, but I don't know if it's going to be helpful. I think we have had the super deep um, conversations that were needed to be had. And it's 47 out of the after the hour. Oh, is that what you saw, V? I just saw that too myself. And so I think time has brought us the messages and the lessons that we've needed. And we have now come to the conclusion that Vibrant needs to go on Twitch and start sharing some of this vibrational calculation experience with you in another way. So that'll be more to come. Thank you, Chico. Yes, please make sure that you hit the like button. Um, let's go ahead and spin our wheel. Oh, wait. Did we want to do it was your birthday. Give me your birthday, DF Goddess, and what we'll do is we will let's spin our wheel so that we can get our vibration for this week. And then anybody that would like to stay for a birthday breakdown, we'll break down the birthday. Yeah, we'll do that after we spin our wheel. So then nobody's missing anything if they don't want to stay for that part. Because we do that a lot. But it's always fun. Okay, we ready for our wheel to be spun? That sounded funny coming out of my mouth. Hey, Cousin B. Thanks for hopping back in here. It's good to see you again. All right, we ready to spin our wheel? All right, here we go. Me, well, let me find it. I knew you were here. You just weren't saying anything. So thank you for coming back in the chat. I'll adjust. Okay, here we go. I got the tab. Are we ready? Here we go. We're going to spin our wheel. Here we go. I think it's spinning. Oh, yeah, it's spinning. Woohoo! I love this part. Interesting. Okay. So 238. Let me get back over to our other screen so we can write this out. All right, so yeah, I need your birthday. Yes, yes, Tiptoe Joe, you are the winner. You won. So 238. This is very interesting that this is the number we got. Well, it's interesting, but not because it's all divine. That seems to be the word of the last couple days. So 238. This is a number that you could see as a time. Okay, good. I'm so glad you're still here, Nunu. So this could be seen as a time. So 238. So we'll be looking for this number, whether it's like on license plates or just in general, but it also could be a time. And so you want to look for it. And this is how we can practice being aware of the vibrations that are around us and how we can start being able to actually use it. And so when we add these up, so 2 plus 3 plus 8 is going to give us 13, which gives us a 4. So looking at the themes of this vibration. So this vibration is very much about building these foundations or getting to a place of stability. And so that is going to be the biggest theme that we should see. But how we get to that place of stability is being able to go through a transformation where this is the biggest change that you can have happen, where it's a change that then you can't come back from. Once you make this change, it's a full transformation. You don't come back from it. And so this is like going from a caterpillar into a butterfly. And how you get to this transformation are in these 3 steps. And so it's establishing and recognizing this energy that's coming back to you. So this is the reap what you sow energy, or karmic energy, as some people like to call it. And how that energy coming back to you can be used for your growth and to get rid of some of these extremes. So to end dualism. I put these on top because there's actually some other interesting themes that are here that relate to our conversations we had today. So we do have this 23, which is the numerical vibration of I am. So any of these identity themes, it's coming out right here in I am. We also have another one. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Where 38 is the numerical vibration of the word balance, but also of the word change. And we had a lot of discussion about change, what change really was, if you could have change, how did you get to change? And we saw how within the vibrations of the music, we're getting these vibrations of change that are kind of pushing us forward into this change. So this is a very deeply wound vibrational story to go with our very deep discussion today. So there's that. And So for anybody that is going to hop out, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next week for sure. And I will try and keep everybody updated of when I am going to jump on Twitch and add that to the Vibrant Numerals repertoire. Oh, that's a fun word to say. But anybody that would like to see how we do the life path numbers or the birthday breakdowns, you're welcome to stay. Because we'll do at least one. If there's any of the new subscribers that would like their birthdays broken down, also, you can certainly put it in the chat and I will do that. Okay, it's up. Okay. So let me go to another page and I will. Oh, wow. How do you get all that there? Okay, so the birthday we have is 9/21/83. Okay, so the way that we find our life path number. So typically, if you would go to like a life path number calculator, or you would calculate your life path number in the traditional, in quotes, way, you would end up with just a single number. And that's not how we do it here. What we do instead is we keep all of the numbers in their double digit form so that we can actually get a 2-digit number that's your life path number. And that actually is the path that you take to get to the single digit, which is your outcome. So that's where it's a little bit different, where it is making sure that you know what are the steps that need to be taken in order to get to the outcome. The outcome, like your single digit, it is the vibration that you are pushing out and you're contributing to the world, but the 2-digit actually gives you the steps of how to do that and how to get there, which is very important. So the first thing we do is we take our year and we add up those single digits for the year. So we add those up. And so then we get 21. And first of all, I think it's very interesting that you have two 21s here. So this is just like if we saw a repeating number. So if we saw like 333, where each one of these is amplifying the other. So it's just making that vibration louder, so you're paying attention to it more. And so it's very interesting that you have this 21 coming up twice, because then that means this 21 is amplified. It's a vibration that's much louder within your vibrational story of your life path number. And so we'll see how that contributes. It also is cool, but also creepy that you are coming to get this right now, because December 2025 is resonating at a 21. So 21 is very loud right now. And you have joined us, which I love, and this can be a contributing factor. All right, so then we have the number for the year. We are then adding our month and adding our day. And so then we are getting 51. So your life path number is 51. That then, when we add those together, we get a 6. So this 6 is the end vibration that goes out into the world. It's what you're contributing vibrationally um, to the rest of the world and to the collective. Um, but the way that you get there is through this 51. So this 51 is really about, so there's 2 steps here. So this is your step 1. The first step is to allow new energy in. So in order to take these steps on this path, you're needing to be open to new energy that comes into your space. Because this new energy that comes into your space, whether it's a person or new ideas or new thoughts or new behaviors, you really have to be accepting of this new is needed so that you can really understand how change works. So needing to accept this new energy and how it moves, be able to understand what it means when something is new coming into your vibrational space, and making sure that you're using that new energy to bring about change. That change that you bring about is then creating for yourself and for others this place of comfort. It's important, though, to make sure that you are having this new also contribute, or mostly contribute, to the change. Because with this vibration of 51, you could really get caught up in this change piece. And we see this with anybody that has these 5s, that being so focused on change is hard for a lot of other people. It could rub other people the wrong way because change is hard. So it's not necessarily you. It is the part of their vibration that is vibrating at this 5. But if you are able to first accept this new energy that's coming in, so really understand how to be able to harness new ideas, doing things a new way, new behaviors, new thoughts, and really putting that into how you change how you do things, then you'll be able to create this comfortable space. Because that's really what you're meant to do, is you're meant to be able to contribute to this feelings of comfort, because it's, and not just comfort in like the positive way, but also this discomfort. So you're meant to create these spaces where there's a sense of comfort so that change really can happen. Because this comfort is creating a comfortable space, but it also is challenging comfort zones. Oh my gosh, challenging. So you're meant to create these comfort zones, but also challenge comfort zones. So really challenging people for like, why are you comfortable with that? You shouldn't be comfortable with that. But the support for those types of conversations that you would have in challenging comfort zones is going to come from this new energy that you have coming in. So these new thoughts, these new behaviors, these new ways of doing things, and how that contributes to change. So then, to give you an example of why it's important to get this 2-digit number, to know where this is coming from, my life path number is actually 60. So I also resonate at this single digit of 6, but it's coming from, my steps are very different from yours. So that's why we need to get this 2-digit number so we can actually better understand the steps that need to be taken. What are the true vibrations that you actually have as a resource to get to this single digit number, this single digit life path? Also, remember that this is just one of all of those different vibrations in that triangle that make up who you are. So, this is just one little thread in the vibrational tapestry of who you are. So, we can tap into this and use this to learn about ourselves. And by learning about ourselves, now we can heal ourselves. And once we heal ourselves, now we are able to contribute that healing out to the bigger world around us. I'm glad you're caught up now, V. So, Dear Goddess, do you have any questions? Does this make sense? Anybody else have a birthday they want to look at? Oh, thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that very much. Oh, good. I can feel you all here, so I'm glad you're still here. Thank you. Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sweet cookies, I can't do your birthday breakdown if I don't have your whole birthday. And if you don't want to give your year, because there's been other people that don't want to give their year, you can send it to me in Discord and I'll look at it. Okay, so I don't see any other birthdays. Are there any other questions? I'm not seeing any others. I'll wait just a minute. All right. We have been on here for quite a while. You and me both, V. I am hungry too. So, thank you all for being here. I'm going to charge up all of my stuff and then we will be back next week. I'll keep you updated if yes, that's fine, sweet cookies. I've done that for other people. No problem. So, we'll be back next week. I'll keep you updated if and when I go on Twitch and what that'll even look like. That'll be interesting going into the new year, especially. Thank you again to all of the new subscribers. I'm so happy to have you here. I can't believe that you all came in on a wave of love and support. I really appreciate it. And I guess we'll end there. Thank you, everybody. I love you.